Hi Taurus, I hope this finds you guys really great on this Monday morning. This is going to be a he said, she said spread for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I'm going to pull a Black Moon Tarot for your crowning energy. I hope everyone's hanging in there during this Mercury retrograde. Thank you so much for joining me today. I so appreciate your time. Hopefully we can get some good messages. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus during this period for you. So this is going to be for those of you who are in a relationship and it's in a kind of a weird space, or you might be on, call a break, or just in a weird time period. Maybe you guys have recently ended a relationship. It's just somebody who's in your energy field. So this is probably not going to apply to somebody who maybe you haven't been with for like 10 years or so. You know what I mean? Let's see what we have. Oh, the moon card. Beautiful. All right, so let's pull this over here. Let's talk about what the moon energy means. The moon is our soul, Taurus. So this tells me that you're working very deep inside of you. You're feeling very emotional right now because the moon shows how we respond emotionally and what we feel most deeply. It is what we do in secret. It's also the memories from the past, who we were in past lives. This is our innermost selves, and I feel like a lot of you are really dealing with this aspect of yourself. Maybe not wanting to see the deepest parts of yourself, or actually really doing the good work. Either way, there's this engagement with your soul energy. This does also indicate fluctuations in your life right now, because if you think about it, right, the moon changes signs every 2.5 days, right? So there's getting this indicates that there is a lot of change going on for you right now, and there may be pockets of time where you'll be totally fine. You're going to be working, doing your thing, but where you feel very overcome by emotions, right? And you're going to want to do things that are safe. You're not going to want to take any risks, right? Because you're very sensitive, and you're going to be in this space where you're very sensitive and you feel like you have to gauge any feelings before entering a room or being with people that you don't know, or in any situations that might potentially make you feel uncomfortable. So Taurus, I feel like if you're resonating with this, you're in a sensitive space right now in your life, Now, I do want to say that when this shows up, though, it typically does indicate that not is all as it seems, as they say, right? Because something is being obscured. So you may feel a little lost right now, like that you've lost your direction, that you were on a certain trajectory in this relationship, and that your partner felt like they were on a certain trajectory with you, but something happened and you just lost direction, and you're feeling like you don't have all the information you need to go forward in the way that you ultimately want for yourself. There's a lot that you're sensing right now, but I feel like there's this holding back, there's this hesitation. And it might look as if it's really difficult to cut through the confusion and the fog right now to get to the real truth of a situation. But that has to do with Mercury retrograde. I mean, this energy indicates that as well. Now, for others of you, this might be for yourself or for your partner, where substance abuse was an issue, somehow touched your life in some way. Not necessarily you, but somehow is impacting the narrative that we're going to find here today. Now, for others of you, I'm getting that after growing very close to someone, the energy that you were feeling around that person became a little smothering and restrictive, right? So insecurities may have risen in them or in you, and there may be feelings almost of like paranoia, like where either you feel like you got to a space where you felt like your partner's feelings were changing, where they felt like that about you, and there wasn't healthy communication about it, And what happens there is that we just want to feel safe when we feel like that, So if any sort of emotional clinginess was not well received in this energy, But see, the moon tells us to hang on, even though we feel like something may have reached its expiration date. Like the moon chimes in, it says, hang in there, you're going to get where you need to go. You're going to win sooner or later, right? But it's just very important for you to really work within the confines of reality. And not that you guys don't, right? You guys are a beautiful art sign. I have my moon in Taurus, truth be told. But in this energy, you want to make sure that you don't get caught up in any false truths, right? Because like with the Neptune card, the moon card is it's like deception. is very possible because things are cloudy, right? So it's a good time to open your mind up to things and just stay very open and very, very grounded right now. Now, I do want to say, because this is general reading, and I want to say all that I get from this does indicate someone returning from your past. If that is something that would be relevant to you. Not everyone even has an ex that would be, fall within. But if you have somebody on your heart right now who you're not with, this does indicate the return of an ex. So do with that how what you want. I mean, they may or may not have anything at all to do with this particular he said, she said spread. They might be somebody totally separate. But that is what that means. And it's equivalent to the High Priestess. Those of you, I'm assuming you guys are tarot people, right? Because you're tuning into my channel. It's the High Priestess energy, right? Lots of intuition, feeling, soul feeling, right? Soul feeling. All right, so we're going to pull some cards see what you're going through right now, and then your partner, and then some blockages, some outcome and advice energies. You're doing a lot of thinking, Taurus. You're doing you. Yeah. Yet the Hermit and the Eight of Swords side to side is typically, but there's healing going on because we have the Star card. Oh, and it's next to the Lovers reverse. Okay. All right. So starting from the beginning, you're in a space where you feel like your foundation is not strong with this person. The Four of Wands in the upright is about engagement and marriage and celebration and foundation, really strong foundation for a healthy relationship moving forward, right? And in the reverse, Wands in the reverse indicate delay and indicate disappointment. So I do sense that you're very disappointed and not feeling very motivated to push something forward right now with this person. But the fact that we have the Four of Wands on the table does tell me you still have a great deal of emotion left for this person, Taurus. King of Wands, though, there's this definitive lack of willingness. You just want to hang out, do you, be you, go to work, stay within yourself, really kind of take stock of your own life. I really do feel like this is such a great card actually to give the Mercury retrograde, because this is a big pause button. You're not feeling motivated at all to move forward in any way. I feel like there's a just like this big pause button set in your deepest emotional soul, where you're really trying to look at things. I feel like a lot of you with this Hermit energy and the Eight of Swords energy, after the King of Wands, I just feel like you guys are going to be doing some very deep soul searching, right? Having to do with that moon, that makes sense. You're really going to be getting in touch with your role in everything, where you could have done things better. Identifying things in yourself, actually independent. I actually get independent of this relationship. You're going to be really looking at patterns in your life, things that have gone on in your life that maybe you should have handled a little differently. Habits that you've had, ways of handling things, forms of communication, all of that, because you're really looking to really bring yourself to that next level, and you're getting very deep. And the thing is, those kinds of stuff, that's never comfortable. Because I feel this sense of confliction. When we have the Hermit and the Eight of Swords, you're very trapped in your own mind in this cyclical type of thinking, and you're just not sure how to fix it. And I just feel like you're getting in touch with, yeah, okay, you can identify what you're not happy about in them, but you know you can't control that, Taurus. You're looking at yourself very deeply right now. This is a very introspective time, I feel. Very introspective energy, even though I feel like you may be going out there. And then to have the Ace of Swords reverse with the Hermit, with the Eight of Swords, yeah, Taurus, you need to really get honest with yourself in your deepest recess. And guys, this is human. If you're a healthy human being, you are always looking to evolve yourself up to the next level. You should always be looking to learn and grow and better yourself, right? And I feel like this relationship is karmic. This person is a soulmate. And what does that mean? We learn lessons from our soulmates. And it's very sad when those lessons are not learned, because then, Spirit's going to bring us another set of circumstances. The face might look different. The tune might be a little different, but it's always going to end up back in that same thing, And that same kind of cycle. And this is you getting, really wanting to get in touch with, what do I need to look at to be the best version of myself in this? And I don't even get you hyper focusing on all of the failings and flaws of your partner right now. This is you being very, very introspective and, involved in this also. When we look at ourselves in this way, vulnerabilities can seep in, insecurities can seep in, and this wanting to hide in a safe place. Now, this is not to say that your partner did nothing wrong. This is not to say that your partner is perfect whatsoever. I get that you're acknowledging where your unhappiness lied in the situation, but you're very focused on your part in it. Now, the Lover's reverse indicates the shadow side of your personalities coming out. So I'm feeling like you very much in a space, because the Lover's card upright is about acknowledging, look, we love each other. We have stuff, we have some issues. We need to work through them. But if we do it together, and if we are approaching everything together, we're going to have the blessing of Archangel Raphael and the illumination of the sun to help support our journey, right? I mean, that's what it means in the upright. In the reverse, it indicates your shadow sides of your personalities coming out, the ego, the negativity, the finger pointing, the deflection, the blaming, okay? There's a lot of blaming going on here. So Taurus, I do feel like that is an energy you're needing to deal with. Now, whether you're blaming your partner for too much or they're blaming you for too much. But we have the Star card here. You want to heal all of this in a very fair way. The Star card upright is about healing with the blessings of the Seven Sisters, the Seven Stars and Spirit, through emotions while feeling grounded. It's a beautiful energy. It's really beautiful. And I feel my throat chakra closing. You get a drink. You guys need to have a conversation, Taurus. You need to have a conversation about what's fair, with the truth. Truth's got to come out. Something has not been handled in a very fair way. You very much want justice. Now, this could be you feel like you deserve to have justice put upon you, or you realize where you have been unfair and you want to try to rectify something, but you're not sure how. Or this could be a little bit of both. But it's definitely this feeling of you sensing this need for justice right now. Definitely needing the sense of justice. Focusing on you. Focusing on you while paying attention to what went on in the relationship and realizing that maybe things were not as fair as they could have been. Maybe you could have handled things better. Maybe they could have handled things better. But it's like this healing. You definitely want the healing. You are healing. You are healing for sure. Like whatever way you're being honest with yourself is absolutely beautiful because it's bringing healing regardless. Okay, this is for your partner. Where are they at? Okay. Yeah, they've kind of checked out of the situation because they were realizing the reality of a painful situation. Look at this, though. They got the Lover's card and the Ace of Swords upright. They got the Hermit, all right. Okay, so, all right, let's start with the Seven Cups. Seven Cups energy. I am never mad at the Seven of Cups because, like my spiel is always with the Seven of Cups, 5 of the cups are very positive, right? We have spiritual blessings, higher consciousness, wisdom, abundance, the ultimate utopia. And then these 2 are like, I don't know, are they negative? Are they not negative? We really don't know what's in there. This is this idea of, right, because the crowning was kind of, it's for the entire reading. It's not having all the information. So you're dealing with somebody who feels like stuff went on and they don't know everything. And they're really trying to sift through it. But because I feel like you guys are not communicating well, they're leaving the situation, at least mentally. At least mentally, they know that they need to leave a situation even though they really don't want to. It's in the reverse. They really don't want to leave, but they feel like they're not getting the entire truth from you or from the situation. And the King of Wands is a willingness. There is a willingness to want to work this out. But there's also a strong ego here. There's this understanding that something happened where they feel like they're owed an explanation. They feel like they're owed an explanation. We have the Three of Swords reversed. Three of Swords is the card of pain. But I like it better. It's much better in the reverse, because what this indicates is validation ends up happening here. So this can certainly be a third party situation, right? Where suddenly your partner started entertaining somebody on the side, even if it was only a conversation, or you did. Or this could be something completely different, like something really hard. Maybe you guys had a business together and you lost the business, or something very dramatic happened within one of your families or both of your families. It's this external thing to the relationship that happened that ended up creating a great deal of pain within the relationship. Okay, but it is this idea of pain, and it happening because of something external to your immediate connection, and they're in a lot of pain here. But also in the reverse position, though, this tells me that they've moved into a place of acceptance about it. Yeah, like they felt the pain, and it's like they put it all out on the table with, put their glasses based in reality on, and said, you know what, this is the reality of the situation. I just have to accept it. They're in very deep pensive mode, and they're really not seeking counsel. The Hermit reverse it's the same as the upright, in that definitely taking that mental space to do some solid thinking about kind of everything. But in the upright, people are talking maybe to friends or some, a trusted friend or two. They're at least letting it outside of themselves. In the Hermit reverse, no, they are not. They're keeping their own counsel. They're really not talking to anybody. I mean, I feel like the energy I have here is that this person is just doing themselves, doing their life, getting up, going to work, seeing their friends, doing their thing, but they have this very deep pain that they're carrying inside, and they're very confused. The Two of Pentacles is really about, there's a confusion about which path to take, but regarding everything Pentacle related. So that would be having to do with money and resources. This has to do with how they communicate. This has to do with your sex life. This has to do with how you guys connect as a couple, because Pentacles is all about how you connect, how you do relationships. And then we have the Lover's card, and I get that their confusion is bringing them to a space of realizing, like, as exactly as I said before, except when you get the Lover's reverse, they recognize that you guys have clouds between the two of you. They recognize you guys are not perfect, that there are things that need to be addressed in the relationship in order for you guys to really be on the path that you meant to be on, to build, to just feel like you're on the right path. Nothing's ever perfect. And that's what I love about the Lover's card. It's very, very realistic. It really is. It's like, you're broken, I'm broken. Let's see how we can each work on ourselves to just make our union healthier, and there's a lot of blessings here for that. And there's this absolute willingness to start this next cycle, Ace of Swords, but this is all about truth. And this is about them wanting to come in and get something off their chest that they feel like has really been bothering them. Come to you with some sort of truth. And it's this truth that's going to crack open the ability to step through this door into the next phase. And guys, this is even if you're keeping it real, because when we watch these tarot videos and astrology videos, it can sound dramatic in the moment, but what's real life application is the understanding that even really great relationships have an ebb and flow about them if it's healthy. Because as individuals, we're always growing and changing. And it's illogical to think that the person that we're with is always going to be changing on the same trajectory as us. It's illogical. So where we need to be what we need to be reminded of in those times is that we're on the same team. You guys have to stay in that same coupled shell where you're safe from the rest of the world, and you guys are strong, right, within each other. But even then, there's always going to be some weirdness, the ebb and flow of reality. So this does not mean because I want to say this, because the he said, she said spreads can go for people who are in really solid relationships too, but you just feel like you're in a weird space. Or it could also apply if you've actually broken up already, right? And so you have to just apply the level of it, all right? But there is definitely a truth. I feel like those of you who are coupled, there's some sort of 500-pound elephant in the room that hasn't been addressed, right? And for those of you who are broken up, I feel like the part of the reason you guys are broken up is because there was this truth that was being withheld, even if it was just simply how they felt about something. It could have just been that, you know? It could kind of go either way, but to understand what the energy is. I only say that because, tarot is such an effective tool to help us, but it's only really helpful if we use it correctly, right? So if these messages aren't resonating with you, definitely check out your rising, your moon, and your Venus, because you're going to get messages from there as well. Your sun is only one room in a very much larger house that would be you, right? Our sun is just our ego consciousness. The moon is how we do emotion. So you should want to check that out with any relationship read. Venus is how we do connections in relationship and connect with money. And our rising is our personality and how the world understands us and how we engage with the world. So they're all really important. So let's get some fears. Your fears. 2 of Cups. Reverse. 7 of Pentacles. Well, the moon is your fear. Yeah, okay. Well, lots of cups. Lots of cups. 2 of Cups reverse. You're just afraid that this union is not going to find its way back to itself again, and you guys aren't going to be able to find the legs to grow it. You're afraid that you're not going to be able to have this next cycle to build with them. 7 Pentacles is about the start of a new chapter and the building of energies. It's the solidness of earth, and it's the divinity of the Trinity. 4 plus 3 is 7, and you feeling like that's just not going to happen for you. That Taurus, I just feel like there is definitely something. I feel like you're holding back this element of yourself. And I feel like you're looking at it, but you're afraid as to what to do with it. You feel like you want to admit it to yourself and to your partner or this person, but you're just not able to. You're in a space of really not liking a part of yourself that you meet in private when you go deep inside of yourself. I am feeling that. And your fear is that you're just not going to have that ultimate happiness. This is very clear, right? That's what 10 of Pentacles is all about. Yeah. Okay, 7 of Cups. So it's like you have this fear. You're so afraid to actually cut the cord, right? Because we just talked about the 7 of Cups. This is in reverse. And this is being very cautious about moving forward, even though you don't have all of the information here. I just feel like you're hiding. There's a sense of hiding here. Real sense of hiding, but really focusing on yourself, Taurus. You are just really focused on making your dreams come true, your ultimate attainment. You are afraid that you're not going to have the full growth that you want for yourself, because the 8 of Cups into the 9 of Cups, this is really about building. This is a lot about building and about things coming to fruition. Your dreams coming true, you working towards your dreams. And Taurus, I do feel like this person that you were dealing with was very much a part of that dream that you had for yourself. And you are afraid that they're not going to be a part of it, but you're trying so hard to plug forward anyway and just keep it moving. And we have the 5 of Cups energy, and you're so afraid of this moving on, because the 5 of Cups, it's like, in the typical Rider-Waite, it's the 3 cups are spilt in front of the character, and then 2 cups are still standing, right? This is you focusing, though, very heavily on, when we get this in a fear position, it's you acknowledging on some level within your psyche that things as they were are over, and you want to hold on to those 2 cups within yourself that you still have to move forward. This is you really just wanting to pick up the pieces and move on, move forward in your life. But you're afraid that you're not going to be able to in a way that best serves you. I feel like you're not comfortable with whatever status things are at right now, but you're having this internal argument with yourself where you're on one hand absolutely arguing, like, is this the right thing to do? I feel like this is not the right thing to do. This is not the right thing to do for my ultimate good. This needs to be worked out. Okay. Yeah. They're afraid of not having that movement forward with you, and not Chariot. The Chariot is a Cancer energy. So what is Cancer? Is all about love and home and family, and they're just afraid of just not having that right now. That's a fear of theirs. Seven of Wands, they're also fearing having communication with you because they feel like there's going to be a lot of arguing, and there's going to end up being a lot of deflection and blaming and finger pointing. And we have the Seven of Wands, and then we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands energy is the kind of fighting where it's like it makes you nuts. It's like you're trying to stab each other in the dark, where you like, I say up, you say down, black, white, you said this, no, you're crazy, you know, and it ends up in this cyclical kind of argument. In the fear position, this tells me that they're very afraid to have the argument, but they know that they are very much fearing that this is over with you. But the thing is, with the Death card, the Scorpionic energy right now, this is about regeneration. It's just as much about a new beginning as it is an ending. But I feel like this is actually a fear for them because they're afraid that you guys aren't going to be able to meet your ultimate wish fulfillment together. And they're having a lot of struggles with this Four of Cups energy. Four of Cups is the checklist card. This is going to be them sitting there saying like, well, in order for me to be happy with you, you have to do A, B, and C. And if you don't do A, B, and C, this is never going to work. And then on the other side of their brain, they're like, I don't know if I even want to be in this. I think I might be a little bored. I'm not sure. But what they're not looking at is their ability to call something else in their own mind, where it's actually their own insecurities that they're covering up here and their own vulnerabilities. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has those. But this tells me that they are afraid that they're going to be feeling your inability to conform to the relationship in a way to meet its ultimate good. This is a fear that they're having. But the reason I'm saying the rest of it is because they feel like they're not looking at themselves hard enough and their role in the whole thing. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, yeah, which indicates, I mean, you had it too. It's a relationship reading. There's some confusion about, you know, how things could be moving forward. Yeah, and then we have the Seven of Cups. So we have the Seven of Cups. We had the Seven of Wands is about Seven of Cups is about them really not wanting to move forward because they don't know all the information. The Seven of Wands, I don't know, I feel like I said the opposite before. Maybe I was called to do that because I saw this in the corner of my eye. The Seven of Wands is all about them being very defensive, right, of their own land and their own soul and their own feelings, feeling very defensive of how they feel. So that is what I'm getting, them being very afraid of right now. But let's see what kind of advice cards we can pull. Let's just cut because I did shuffle already. What is the advice for Taurus here? Four of Wands. Four of Wands. All right, listen. You guys just need to keep the pause button pressed a little bit, because the Three of Wands is about really making those definitive plans to move forward in your life. And in the reverse, it just indicates like there's going to be a delay in it. But I like this because the delay is going to end up bringing the Four of Wands energy, which is all about engagement, marriage, commitment, moving in together, just being really committed to each other for this next phase. It's entirely positive. Seven of Pentacles is absolutely beautiful. This is the building of a new cycle, saving your money together, figuring out where you guys are going to live, what you're going to do, what things are going to look like, what your communication needs to look like, who wants what in, you know, having to do with your intimate life. The Empress is the mother of the tarot. So this is about planting seeds, bringing them to fruition and birthing them, and then doing it all over again. So this is all about growth, growth, growth. Cards of growth. Absolutely beautiful. Let's pull a few more cards for me. Queen of Cups. See, there's going to be a lot of sharing of emotions, and you guys are going to start reframing where you guys and how you were going to do it. Ace of Wands, come on, this is beautiful. There is such a willingness to move forward in this. You guys are going to be having the conversations and you're going to be planning. There's going to be a lot of conversation here as a result of this. Yes, no, I'm not acknowledging reversals. Will Taurus work this out with this person? Knight of Swords coming in with the truth. Coming in with the truth. That's the only sword energy that's positive. I do like that. Yeah. Taurus, it looks good. You guys are going to be opening your hearts up to each other. Lots of truth, lots of communication. There's lots of willingness here So I do like that, but you have to go through a number of arguments first before you get there. And that's going to be frustrating, but just stay in the moment and stay patient and keep your eyes open, right? Don't believe everything that's told to you straight out of the gate. All right, but it looks good. Thank you so much for joining me. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.